Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking one of the absolute most fascinating contradictions in modern British entertainment. We are looking at a man who is famous for his chaotic, shouting, totally unpredictable stage presence, who also just so happens to be a deeply thoughtful artist and a quiet powerhouse of wealth generation. I'm talking, of course, about the one and only Johnny Vegas.
Now here's a question that'll probably make you do a double take. How on earth does someone whose early life was entirely geared towards the quiet, disciplined world of a Catholic priest pivot so dramatically? How do you go from that to becoming a master of angry rant comedy and actually build a complete empire out of it?
Okay, let's just get right down to the numbers. $10 million, or, roughly 8 million pounds. Now, in the context of global Hollywood megastars, sure, that might not sound like Marvel movie money, but let's be real. In the landscape of the UK television industry, which is known for rewarding consistency but very rarely handing out massive American-style paydays, this figure is an incredible feat. It represents decades of relentless, highly diversified work.
To really understand how he pulled this off, we have to look at this stark duality. We're talking about a journey from the solemn, echoing halls of a seminary to the loud, sticky floors of alternative comedy clubs, all the way up to mainstream primetime television. It's a transformation that literally defies almost every conventional rule of show business. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The $10 million comedian. 2. From seminary to stand-up. 3. Building a television empire. 4. The secret ceramic artist. And 5. The man behind the chaos. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The $10 million comedian. Decoding the wealth.
To truly get where this success comes from, we actually need to split the man in two, well, metaphorically speaking. On one hand, you have Johnny Vegas, the persona. He's loud, he's explosive, and he's famous for this incredibly physical, cathartic, angry rant comedy. But on the other hand, you have his real identity, Michael Pennington. And Michael is a grounded, thoughtful, very private ceramic artist from Northern England. The absolute genius of his career is how Pennington perfectly monetized the chaos of Vegas.
Which brings us to Section 2, From Seminary to Stand-Up, the unlikely origin story.
Picture this. Born in 1970 in the working-class industrial town of St. Helens, his path was, well, incredibly unique right out of the gate. At just 11 years old, he actually went off to a boarding school seminary because he was training to become a Catholic priest. Now, he eventually came back home due to homesickness, but that deep immersion in Catholic tradition absolutely stayed with him. Fast forward to the 90s, he earns a Bachelor of Arts in Ceramics at Middlesex University in London, and he doesn't even make his TV debut until 1996 as a contestant on the game show Win, Lose, or Draw. He brought this massive wealth of unconventional, real-world experience to his comedy right from the start.
And he never, ever lost that rebellious, anti-establishment edge. I absolutely love this anecdote. Back in 2002, when he got married, mainstream celebrity culture was totally obsessed with selling exclusive wedding photos to glossy magazines for hundreds of thousands of pounds. So what does he do? To completely satirize the whole industry, he sold his exclusive wedding photos to Viz, which is a satirical adult comic magazine in the UK, for exactly £1. £1. It was a total rejection of Hollywood norms and just a perfect showcase of his brilliant, uncompromising comedic mind.
Section 3. Building a television empire. The mathematics of a $10 million brand.
So what's the secret sauce here? How do you take an anti-establishment comedian and turn them into a multimillionaire? The crucial point is that his wealth wasn't built on one massive lucky Hollywood payday. No, it was built on highly diversified, rock-solid streams of UK income. We're talking regular, long-running roles like Jeff the Oracle Maltby in the massive hit Benidorm, and the lead character Maz in the cult favorite Ideal. Add to that some seriously lucrative commercial endorsements. You probably remember him playing Al alongside that knitted monkey for PG Tips tea. Then, layer on top of that constant appearance fees as a beloved regular on British comedy panel shows like QI and 8 out of 10 Cats.
When you break those earnings down over time, it's like a giant puzzle coming together. You've got an estimated $3 million from the peak Benidorm era, $2 million from Ideal, another $2 million from his long-running role as Wet Eric in Still Open All Hours, and about $3 million accumulated from relentless panel show appearances, live stand-up, and those endorsements. This right here is the power of compounding. By working consistently across totally different genres for over 25 years, a working-class comedian built an absolute fortune.
Section 4. The secret ceramic artist. The intellectual behind the rants.
Because, believe it or not, the comedy empire is only half the story. That ceramics degree from Middlesex University we talked about earlier, it wasn't just some backup plan or a quirky footnote. It's a legitimate, enduring passion. His work is actually so highly regarded that he was praised by the prestigious industry magazine Ceramic Review. That recognition even led to major commercial art projects. Like, he was literally commissioned by Old Spice to design an aftershave bottle. He describes the pottery wheel as meditative and therapeutic, which is such a crazy, stark contrast to his explosive stage shows.
And the artistic validation goes even further. His professional ceramic artwork was officially exhibited at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, the V&A. That is one of the world's leading museums of art and design. To have your work exhibited there means you are recognized by the global art world as a legitimate top-tier artist. Honestly, the fact that the same man who screams on stage holding a pint of Guinness also has delicate ceramic work in the V&A, it's got to be one of the greatest plot twists in British entertainment history.
Section 5. The man behind the chaos. Authentic to the end.
So who is the guy at the end of the day? Well, despite a net worth of $10 million, Michael Pennington has kept Johnny Vegas incredibly grounded. He's remained fiercely loyal to his northern roots, choosing to live in the Northwest rather than fully relocating down to London. In 2012, he publicly shared that he actually returned to the Roman Catholic faith of his youth. Politically, he's a vocal supporter of working-class politics and the National Health Service, speaking out passionately against its privatization. And most recently, he returned to screens not playing a chaotic character, but just as himself, setting up a boutique glamping site in Yorkshire with renovated old vehicles for a Channel 4 series. He isn't putting on airs, he's simply living out his genuine values.
Which really leaves us with this final thought. Johnny Vegas never softened his St. Helens accent. He never polished away his chaotic energy. He fully embraced his working-class roots, his faith, and his absolute love for pottery. By refusing to conform to the standard, highly polished mold of a modern celebrity, he became completely irreplaceable. So it really begs the question, is radical authenticity the ultimate key to long-term success? It certainly was for the $10 million man from St. Helens. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the obvious.